What's going on, fragrance connoisseurs? We are here with a goodie box from my friends at Kilian, by Kilian. The rep hooked me up, sorta. I mean, you say hooked up. I was able to get Angels Share Paradis for earlier than expected, but I did have to still pay full retail. So this is not a gifted bottle or anything like that. But I am super excited about Angels Share Paradis, and we will compare it to the OG, the Angels Share original. We'll go through the differences and what I know everyone is wondering about. One, it's an extrait instead of just an eau de parfum. Two, it is more expensive than the original, and being a flanker, is it worth it? Is it redundant to have it in your collection, or is it worth it? Should you get it? Should you wait? I know everybody's talking about, well, will it come on discounters or should you get it now? As you see, I got it early, so I am very much a fan of the liquors line and was definitely excited when they talked about doing a flanker or an Angels Share line, basically, as far as having Paradis. So stay tuned for station identification. We're going to get into my thoughts, a full unboxing, first impressions, and then I'll come back and we'll do some thoughts after wearing it for a day or two and seeing how full wearings go. But this will be an unboxing and first impressions. I will compare it to Angels Share, the original. I'll spray one on one in the other, and we'll get into it. So sit back, stay tuned. I'm excited. All right, we'll be right back. All right, fragrance connoisseurs, we are back, and like I showed you, I got the box from Kilian's. I was actually supposed to get it last week, but they didn't have any shipping boxes. That is kind of why this box is so large. I think they just gave me this. They gave me some samples with it. Also, they gave me a 7.5 mil of Roses on Ice. I have had another decant, but wanted another one. It will be a buy sooner or later. Here we go, and the main thing that we will talk about is definitely the box of Angels Share's Paradis. So open it up. Of course, it is similar in the box as we look at the original box. Still have it. The original Angels Share box is right here. Of course, we have the new box, and we'll put them together. Just some slight differences, same size, because I did, well, of course, I have the 50 mil, and I did have the 50 mil of Angels Share. Here is the bottle again of Angels Share. This is a refillable bottle, and I have refilled it once. So, to talk about Angels Share for the beginning, Angels Share, one of my favorite, one of the first, not the actual first, but when I started getting in the niche, I think it was like 2019, Angels Share came out in 2020. It was definitely one of the first niche fragrances that I bought at full retail. So I've had it for a while. Like I said, this is my second bottle. My son has gone through a bottle as well, and this one is one of my favorites. It's in my top 10 for life. There's nostalgia with it and things like that. It is a boozy fragrance that I really like. Opens up with a nice boozy cognac. The mid is spicy with cinnamon and tonka bean, and it has that oak barrel where it gives you the feel that the cognac has been marinating, sitting, maturing in an oak barrel. Then the base is gourmand with praline, vanilla, and a creamy sandalwood. Gives you that boozy apple pie type vibe. It is one of my favorite fragrances. I think it's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10. And when I saw that Kilian's was gonna do Paradis, I had to have it. So we're gonna do, this is the first time I've opened the bottle. And here we go. Similar, like I said, with the bottle from the original, just kind of a felt cutout where the bottle sits. Again, it's the same way. Same type of plaque on the front, has Paradis on it. The main difference when we look at the bottles, basically they're the same kind of glass etching on it. The difference is going to be the cap. Let me get that into focus. And on the cap, of course, this is going to be wood. Now it feels definitely real wood. Smells, wow, has a nice lacquer type finish and a smell to it. The stain that you put on it, but it is grained and really nice cap. Really nice cap. A little different to give you from the original. But of course, now the thing is, we talked about the notes of Angels Share. Now, Paradis is supposed to be I guess, inspiration of the liquors Hennessy Paradis, which is a step up in the Hennessy line of liquors. So I've never tasted, never tried Paradis. Maybe I will at this point. But the things that are told to be different, because I know everybody's probably looked at it, is that there is the liqueur, there's the raspberry, and then in the mid there's going to be some Bulgarian rose, and we'll see how that makes it a difference in the scent profile and DNA. So the first thing I'm going to do is, on my left arm, I will spray the original, the OG of Angels Share, and 2 good sprays. Let that kind of air out. And then on my right arm, I will spray Paradis. All right. Wow. So right off the top, you are gonna get the raspberry, you are gonna get the liqueur. So it's not as dry, and it's not the same type of booziness. It's more of a sweeter boozy with kind of almost a candied fruit vibe up to it. So when I think about liqueurs, I've had like amaretto and different kind of liqueurs that are sweeter in nature, and this gives you, it gives you a candied sweetness to the opening. Very interesting and very different. So right off the bat, I would say the openings are not redundant at all. Something that I always pull out immediately in the opening right after you spray it for Angel Share, the OG, is you do get a good dose of oak, and get that oak in the barrel type feel, along with the cinnamon. And in the new and Paradis, you are getting a lot more of a sweet liqueur, and there isn't really a strong oak barrel type vibe that you get to it. So right off the bat, that's what I would see. And as it starts to dry down, when it's starting to dry on my skin, the Bulgarian rose, you can tell the difference in that. So what I will do is I'm going to give it a few hours to dry down, and then I will come back and update where I am. I will just say from the beginning, they are not redundant. It is worth it to have both of them, in my opinion. You can do what you want with that. But there is the candied raspberry, and it's more of a liqueur in the top. It's not the same type as the cognac. It's not as, I guess, the cognac feel. It's more of a raspberry kind of liqueur. And you don't get as much of the oak barrel in the beginning. Now we'll take it from there, and in about a couple hours I will come back and we'll do an update, and then I'll also do an update at about the 6 to 8 hour range and talk about longevity, projection, sillage, and how that all works. So stay tuned. I'll see you just a little bit.
Much later.
All right, fragrance connoisseurs, it's actually been about 3 hours, and going through some of the differences. So like I said in the beginning, there is a definite distinct difference in the opening. The opening is very different. The raspberry liqueur is a sweet candy type fruit, boozy opening, where the normal Angels Share is a rich, woody cognac. And the cognac, the oak, the richness, and the fruity nature of the cognac is more of a dried fruits. And so that is a distinct difference in the opening. Once you start going into the mid, they come sort of close together, but they're not the same there either. Where you also get the spiciness in the OG, some of the spiciness in the oak and the tonka bean still stays very prominent, and it's more into the gourmand side. In Paradis, what you get here is you get more of a prominent Bulgarian rose that comes out. So this rose note distinguishes it from the OG a lot, in my opinion. Now, in the air with somebody who has never smelled either one of these, what would they think? They would probably think that they are very similar. They may even think that they were the same. But for someone who is a fragrance connoisseur, you would definitely know the difference. The Bulgarian rose is prominent, and it distinguishes it, even though I know this is considered a flanker, but it distinguishes it from the OG, just Angels Share. When you get into the base and when it starts to dry down, and we're a little more than 3 hours in, what you get here is it's not as sweet. The Bulgarian rose in Paradis still is very prominent, and it cuts back on some of the gourmand sweetness that you get in the OG. So in the mid, you are still getting some distinct differences, but it is not as far apart as in the opening. In the opening, they are very far apart, and the openings are not in any way, to me, the same. The opening in Paradis is a lot sweeter, a candied fruit, not like a dry fruit that you would get in a rich cognac. And it makes it a different opening. Once you start getting into the mid, the Bulgarian rose, once the candied fruit starts to dial back, the Bulgarian rose gets more and more present, and the Bulgarian rose is something that definitely differentiates it again from Angels Share. Now we're gonna go, and so I have some mid. I want to go a little longer, see what I think, take some assessments of where we are, and then I will do kind of a final wrap up, tell you about the deep dry down, and then I'll also go through, is it redundant? Should you buy both? If you don't have any of them, what should you buy? I'll go through all of those, and of course this is my opinion, and you still have to make the opinion for yourself. It's all up to you. However, I'm giving you my thoughts. So we're gonna wait just a few more hours. I think I'm gonna be at hour mark 6, and then we'll go through some final thoughts.
Much later.
All right, fragrance connoisseurs, we are into what I would call the deep dry down. It's been about 6 hours. Again, we are talking about these two right here. So we have Paradis and we have Angels Share, the original. The question then comes up is the difference in the dry down. As you go to the dry downs, they come closer together. I would say maybe about 70%, maybe 75%. The same. There are still some distinct differences. In Paradis, you are still getting the distinct Bulgarian rose, which is different, and it's not as gourmand in the dry down as the original Angel Share. Where Angel Share, you're getting a sweetness from praline and vanilla. That there is praline in Paradis as far as their bottom notes, but it is the oak is considered a base note, which keeps it from being as sweet, and I don't believe they have vanilla in the base note on Paradis. But needless to say, you still get the Bulgarian rose and you get less of a gourmand sweetness in them. Now, the question in the presentations, both beautiful. I thought that this presentation in the beginning with the cap that kind of matches the bottle, the plastic that matches the glass bottle, I thought that was wonderful. This one is even a step above, to have a real wood cap that has the stain and the smell of, well, I don't know what kind of wood it is, but, and even the texture, the real wood finish is a nice addition to have on it, and it really makes the bottle stand out. So as far as presentation, I think they're both beautiful. I think this presentation is really nice as well. And then the question is, do I think they are redundant? What I can say, like I said, it's 70-75% the same in the deep dry down. Some people may think that that is close enough to want one or the other. As far as being a fragrance connoisseur, I would say they are different enough that I am not upset that I have both in my collection, and I don't see it as being redundant. The big deal would come with what I would want more. Would I want Paradis more or Angel Share more if I didn't have either of them and I was looking to buy them? At this point, I don't know if I can make that kind of distinction. What I can say is that I've spent a lot of time with Angel Share over the years, and I've grown to affinity. It is in my top 10 for life, if you have a top 10 for life. But as far as Paradis, I have to spend some more time with it. I do like it. I like the distinctions that it has. And if I was smelling both of them for the first time, I think the candied sweetness in the beginning, the Bulgarian rose, I really like the note of rose, and different kinds of rose. Bulgarian rose, Damask rose, Rose de Mai. I really like that nuance that comes into it. So if I was smelling both of them for the first time, just blind, I would think I probably would pick, if I had neither one, that I would pick Paradis. I think that it is some distinct differences that make it a little more nuanced, make it a little more complex as far as some of the different notes that come together. But I think this is a really solid fragrance. Really glad I have it, and really glad that I was able to bring it to you guys, the fragrance connoisseurs that are associated with the channel. So I would give this right off the top 9. Right off the top, I give this a 9. The next thing you want to know is projection and sillage. It is still going strong at 6+ hours. I think I'm right at about 7 now. It has good projection, good sillage, and the regular Angels Share wasn't any slouch either, but I can tell the extrait, the oils, it is going to be above average projection, above average longevity. So I think that it's great in that light as well. So there you have it. Those are my first impressions. I will follow up after I've gotten some wears into it. I plan on wearing it throughout the weekend, so I will wear it for the next few days so that I can do kind of a full review and just bring this all together. We brought it to you, Charm City, brought you Angels Share Paradis. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care. God bless.
All right, here we go. Do 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 do.